Let's take a look at a few of these resumes now that you've kind of glanced them and why you would or would not interview these people. First off, you can see that there are some that pop out to you right away more than others. And I think this is important because a resume is really looked at for those first 2 to 3 seconds and you want to make it through that stack. So automatically, usually like Ethan and Edgar get thrown out as well as Gregory because they just don't stand out as well. Ethan sometimes because his name's a little bit bigger, but definitely not Edgar or Gregory. The next time around, you might keep the people who have color, but a lot of people cut out Danielle. And if you look at Danielle's, there's a lot of reasons why. Number one, it's very short, has nothing on it, and her objective is to get a job. It's not an appropriate objective to get a job, to get paid. Those aren't things that we want to actually include. Another thing is Danielle has a picture, and you really shouldn't include a picture on your resume because of the Equal Employment Opportunity Act. These are all reasons that this resume just looks really short. And off to the right, there's not a lot filling the space and not a lot at the bottom. So Danielle just doesn't seem like she's done a lot. So usually she gets cut out. Another thing that I want to point out is that Susan and Joy look quite a lot alike. That's because they use a word template. And actually, Susan, Joy, Mary, Carmen, Ty, and Danielle all use word templates. And if you were a hiring manager who was hiring regularly, you would see these templates on a regular basis. You can see that Susan used paragraphs, and she wasn't really super great about being positive about herself, like because I have OCD when it comes to my work, I'm not a leader of anything in the moment, nor do I plan to be. These are things that would be reasons you would cut Susan out. I would also say that she has references, which references are a last-ditch effort, but she didn't include any phone numbers for these people. So that may be a reason you cut out Susan. Joy did a little bit better. Obviously, she listed people, but a lot of her resume is, in fact, references and not a lot going on. When you look at Mary's, we have the same kind of issue. Although Mary has good words and good English inside of her resume, she doesn't have very good experience, and she didn't really utilize this to its full advantage. Ty also included a picture on his resume. His resume is a lot better, but it's in paragraph form. If he actually broke this down into bullets, this would be a pretty good standout resume, especially if he removed his picture. Carmen is usually one of the ones that gets picked as somebody we want to interview because she has previously worked at Papa Murphy's. However, if you look at Carmen closely, again, she's got a pretty short resume, kind of like Danielle, and she can't spell. Okay, so she spells experience multiple ways here, and that's important, not for being a pizza maker at Domino's, but if you ever wanted to promote Carmen to like a manager, because usually you want to promote from within because it's cheaper that way, and you don't want to have a manager who can't spell or represent the company correctly. The ones that get picked most likely to actually get interviewed are usually Joy and Randy and Carmen. Randy's resume is a full resume that has bulleted lists, no paragraphs, and has everything filled out. And actually, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but this is actually my husband's resume with a new name. And I like to do that in the class when we do this as a group activity because Randy tends to get picked about 80% of the time as somebody that you would want to interview. It's a customized resume with a customized template and colors. It has detailed information without being overwhelming looking, and it's a full one page. So when looking at these resumes, keep in mind that you want to stand out across the pack, and then when people start reading, you might see things that necessarily don't really correlate. And what I want to point out about all this is it doesn't matter that Carmen used to be a pizza maker. You're going to train her again anyway to make pizzas like Domino's does. So although it's a benefit, it may not be a reason that you want to actually go through with hiring somebody, especially if they have a bunch of other red flags that pop up.